Every champion you admire was once a beginner who struggled, sweated, and stumbled just like you. The difference is not that they were born stronger, faster, or luckier. It's that they built a mentality that refused to quit. Champion mentality is not about trophies or medals. It's about the daily decision to rise above weakness, to fight through pain, and to honor the promise you made to yourself. In the gym, in life, in every challenge, the champion is the one who chooses discipline over excuses, effort over comfort, and persistence over quitting. Discipline is the backbone of a champion mentality because it does not rely on mood, feelings, or circumstances. When a person trains with discipline, they no longer need to negotiate with themselves about whether they will show up to the gym. They do not question whether today is a good day or whether they feel like it. Discipline is the anchor that keeps them rooted to their commitment, and it is far more powerful than the fleeting emotion of motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the wind, but discipline is what makes sure the work is done regardless of the weather, the mood, or the environment. A disciplined person knows that showing up is non-negotiable. They treat their training the way they treat eating food or breathing air. It becomes part of life. This is why discipline transforms fitness from a hobby into a lifestyle. Champions don't wake up wondering if they will train. They wake up knowing it is already decided. Their mind is set. Their actions are scheduled. And their progress is inevitable because they follow through with their plan, even when it is not convenient. Discipline teaches the value of structure. Without it, the days slip away, and inconsistency destroys growth. But when you embrace discipline, you create order and rhythm in your training. You know which days you lift, which days you rest, and which days you focus on recovery. That structure not only produces physical growth, it also builds confidence, because you can trust yourself to do what you promised. Champions live by discipline because it eliminates the chaos of indecision. Through discipline, you develop a work ethic that doesn't collapse when challenges come. Anyone can train when life is smooth and easy, but when stress, pain, or fatigue arrive, discipline is the voice that tells you to push through. It is what drives you to complete that last rep, to add that extra set, to hold that position for a few more seconds when your body screams to quit. Champions build this voice over time, and it becomes their greatest weapon. Discipline also creates freedom. At first, it may feel restrictive to have a routine, to follow strict nutrition, to sacrifice comfort for the sake of training. But over time, discipline removes the burden of hesitation. You no longer waste energy deciding what to do because the path is already clear. This freedom allows you to focus on execution rather than excuses. The champion embraces this freedom because it allows them to fully invest in their goals without distraction. Every rep you complete in discipline is like a brick laid in the foundation of your greatness. One workout may seem small, but repeated workouts stack into strength, resilience, and transformation. Champions understand that discipline is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Missing a day is not failure, but allowing excuses to dominate is. By returning again and again, the disciplined athlete builds momentum that grows stronger with time. Discipline is not only physical, but also mental. It trains you to control your thoughts, to silence the inner voice that looks for shortcuts, and to ignore the whispers of laziness. Champions use discipline to focus on long-term vision instead of chasing instant gratification. They remind themselves daily that the reward is not in skipping the struggle, but in embracing it. This mental toughness forged by discipline becomes unshakable, and it influences every area of life beyond the gym. A disciplined lifestyle also protects you from inconsistency outside of training. It influences how you sleep, what you eat, and how you recover. Champions know that their performance in the gym is directly linked to the choices they make throughout the day. Discipline gives them control over those choices. It guides them away from habits that weaken progress and keeps them aligned with the habits that build strength and endurance. Discipline requires sacrifice, and champions accept that sacrifice with pride. They know that every comfort they give up, every hour they dedicate, every craving they deny is part of the price of success. They don't see sacrifice as loss, they see it as investment. The pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the rewards it produces are lasting. Champions carry this mindset with them, and it separates them from those who only want results without paying the cost. Discipline eventually becomes identity. At first it is effort. At first it is hard work. But with time, discipline transforms from something you do into something you are. Champions don't force themselves to be disciplined anymore. They simply live that way. It becomes natural. It becomes automatic. It becomes who they are. This is why discipline is the foundation of a champion mentality. Without it, greatness remains a dream. With it, greatness becomes reality. Focus is the weapon that allows a champion to block out distractions and channel every ounce of energy into their goal. In the gym, there are countless things that can pull your attention away. Phones, conversations, or even the temptation to compare yourself with others. But when you develop focus, your mind locks onto the task in front of you with full intensity. Every rep, every set, every movement is done with purpose. Champions understand that the body follows where the mind goes, so they sharpen their focus until it becomes unshakable. Focus means being present in the moment. Too often, people drift through their workouts thinking about what happened earlier in the day or what they need to do after they leave the gym. But when you allow your mind to wander, your training suffers. Champions know that focus is about silencing the noise and bringing all attention to the here and now. When they pick up the weight, they are not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. They are thinking about executing this lift with precision. With focus, even the smallest detail matters. The way your feet are planted, the way your breathing is controlled, the way your muscles engage. All of these elements determine the quality of your workout. Champions don't simply go through the motions. They pay attention to the form, the rhythm, and the effort of every exercise. Focus turns ordinary training into effective training because it ensures that nothing is wasted. Focus also protects you from mental fatigue. Without focus, training feels like a scattered, overwhelming task. But when you cut away distractions and concentrate only on the exercise at hand, the work becomes manageable. One set at a time, one rep at a time, one moment at a time. That is how champions maintain their energy and consistency. They don't let their mind drift into negativity or excuses. They keep it locked onto the mission. In a world filled with constant stimulation, focus is rare, and that rarity is what makes it powerful. Most people cannot resist the urge to check their phone mid-workout or get caught up in conversations that waste their time. Champions rise above this because they value their progress too much to let distractions steal it. Focus is not just a skill. It is a discipline that must be trained daily until it becomes natural. Focus builds intensity. When your attention is fixed solely on the task, your effort multiplies. The difference between a half-hearted workout and a champion's workout is the ability to stay mentally locked in from the first warm up to the last rep. Champions know that their body can only give its best when their mind is leading with sharp clarity. Focus is what fuels that intensity, creating training sessions that produce real results instead of wasted energy. Focus is also about vision. It is not only about what you are doing in the gym today, but about keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. Champions focus not just on one workout, but on the future. They are building strength, endurance, health, confidence. This vision keeps them from getting distracted by temporary setbacks or the desire for quick fixes. Their focus keeps them steady, moving in the right direction, even when progress feels slow. When focus is strong, mistakes decrease. A distracted lifter risks poor form, injury, or wasted effort. But when you train with full concentration, you protect your body and maximize your results. Champions know that focus is a safeguard. It ensures their training is safe, effective, and sustainable over the long run. Every time they step into the gym, they bring their full attention with them, because they know the price of distraction is too high. Focus also strengthens the connection between mind and muscle. When you are fully concentrated, you can feel each muscle working, stretching, and contracting. This connection improves not only performance, but also growth, because the body responds better when the mind is engaged. Champions train their focus until they can direct their strength exactly where it is needed, creating precision and efficiency in their workouts. Ultimately, focus is what separates those who wander in circles from those who move forward with purpose. It sharpens effort, eliminates wasted energy, and transforms training into a powerful experience. Champions protect their focus as fiercely as they protect their goals, because they know that without it, their potential is scattered, but with it, every ounce of energy is directed toward building the body, the strength, and the life they are striving for. Discipline is the backbone of a champion's mentality, because it is the force that drives action, even when motivation fades away. Anyone can show up to the gym when they feel inspired, but discipline is what carries you there on the days when you would rather rest, when your body feels heavy, or when your mind is full of excuses. Discipline removes choice from the equation. It turns your goals into non-negotiable commitments. Champions understand that without discipline, effort becomes inconsistent, and inconsistency destroys progress. Discipline is built through small daily habits. It is not only about lifting weights. It is about waking up on time, preparing your meals, staying hydrated, and keeping a schedule that aligns with your goals. Every decision throughout the day is a test of discipline, and each time you choose the harder but better option, you strengthen your will. Champions know that the discipline to refuse short-term comfort leads to long-term rewards, and that truth carries them forward even when the journey feels tough. Discipline demands structure, and structure breeds freedom. Without discipline, life feels chaotic. Progress feels random, and success feels out of reach. But when you live with discipline, you create order. You set boundaries for yourself, you decide your training times, and you honor them no matter what. This structure liberates you from wasted time and wasted energy, because everything you do moves you closer to your vision. Champions don't wait for perfect conditions, they create them with discipline. Discipline also protects you from distractions. In the gym, there will always be something to pull you away: conversations, phones, laziness, or even negative thoughts. Without discipline, you drift into these traps and lose valuable time. But with discipline, you keep your head down and your eyes on the mission. Champions use discipline as a shield that blocks out every distraction, allowing them to channel their focus and energy into growth. Discipline is the teacher that reminds you that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. It teaches you that no matter how tired you are, You can push for one more rep, one more set, one more minute of effort. This repeated pushing stretches your limits and builds strength, not only in your body but also in your character. Champions embrace this lesson daily because they know discipline is the path to resilience, and resilience is the path to greatness. Discipline is also about self-control. It is the ability to say no when everyone else is saying yes, to unhealthy food, to wasted time, to bad habits that destroy progress. It is the quiet power of choosing sacrifice now for success later. Champions understand that every no today creates a louder yes tomorrow when they see results in the mirror and feel strength in their body. Self-control is not about deprivation. It is about direction, and discipline provides that direction. With discipline, progress becomes predictable. Without it, results are uncertain and inconsistent. Champions don't gamble with their future. They create certainty by repeating the right actions day after day. They know that discipline ensures their training builds momentum, and momentum turns effort into transformation. Discipline does not guarantee instant results, but it guarantees eventual ones, and that patience is what separates champions from quitters. Discipline is also contagious. It spreads into every part of life. The discipline you build in the gym reflects in your work, your relationships, and your mindset. It teaches you to follow through on your word, to finish what you start, and to trust yourself to keep going no matter how heavy the load. Champions value this because they know discipline makes them stronger not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually, aligning every part of their life with growth. Discipline thrives when excuses die. Most people allow excuses to control their actions. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start tomorrow. Champions crush these excuses with discipline because they understand that time is too precious to waste. Discipline gives them the power to act even when it's inconvenient, and this separates them from the masses who stop at the first obstacle. Champions act because discipline leaves no room for delay. Discipline transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It is not talent, not luck, not even motivation that creates champions. It is the consistent practice of discipline. Every rep, every meal, every habit compounded over time builds a body that reflects sacrifice and a mind that reflects strength. Champions understand that discipline is not punishment. It is the ultimate form of self-respect. To live with discipline is to declare to yourself that your goals matter and that you are willing to do whatever it takes to honor them. Focus is the power that allows a champion to cut through the noise of the world and lock in on the mission at hand. In the gym, there are countless distractions: music, conversations, your phone, or even your own wandering thoughts. But focus means narrowing your attention until nothing exists except the weight in front of you and the goal you are chasing. It is this mental clarity that transforms an ordinary workout into a session of growth and transformation. Champions understand that when focus is broken, progress is delayed, so they protect their focus like treasure. Focus is not something that appears by chance. It is trained just like muscles are trained, the same way you strengthen your body through consistent resistance. You strengthen your focus through repeated discipline. Every time you redirect your attention back to the task, every time you resist the urge to drift into distraction, you sharpen your ability to focus. Champions practice this deliberately until locking in becomes second nature, until the outside world fades and all that matters is the rep, the set, the mission. Focus is what separates those who simply show up at the gym from those who grow at the gym? Many people are present physically but absent mentally. They go through the motions without engaging their mind, and therefore their body follows without real progress. Champions, on the other hand, bring their full attention to every movement, every lift, every stretch. They understand that focus intensifies effort, and when effort is intensified, results multiply. Focus is also a shield against negativity. There will always be voices, sometimes from others, sometimes from within, that say you can't, that you're too weak, that it's too hard. Without focus, those voices creep in and control your actions. But with focus, you drown them out and replace them with the vision of who you want to become. Focus keeps your eyes on the destination, even when the road feels heavy and long. Champions hold onto their focus like a torch, because it lights the way through doubt. Focus transforms time into productivity. A distracted hour in the gym accomplishes little, but a focused 30 minutes can achieve more than most people do in days. Champions don't waste energy on what doesn't matter, they channel it into what moves them closer to their goals. Focus is how they maximize every second, every rep, every drop of sweat, turning effort into achievement and routine into transformation. Focus requires cutting out what is unnecessary. It's easy to let your attention scatter, to split it between training and socializing, between lifting and scrolling, between working and drifting. But champions know that divided attention means divided results. They simplify their environment, eliminate what steals their energy, and keep their minds locked on what matters. Focus is about choosing one path and refusing to step off it until the destination is reached. Focus also builds patience. When you are truly focused, you stop worrying about how long it will take or how far you have left to go. You only care about doing the next step with full effort. That patience prevents frustration, and it keeps champions consistent when others give up. Focus teaches that every rep is part of the bigger picture, that every small effort builds into something massive, and that success comes not by rushing, but by staying locked in on the process. Focus creates an unbreakable connection between mind and body. When you are fully present in your training, you feel every contraction, every stretch, every ounce of strength flowing through you. That connection not only improves performance but also reduces injury, because you are aware of what your body is telling you. Champions respect this connection, using focus to listen, adjust, and push themselves safely and effectively toward growth. Focus is the amplifier of intensity. Without it, your efforts are scattered and weak, but with it, every action becomes sharper, more precise, and more powerful. Champions train with intensity not because they are superhuman, but because they have mastered the art of directing their focus. This intensity is what allows them to push harder, last longer, and achieve more than the average person ever will. Focus is ultimately about presence, the ability to live fully in the moment, to shut out the noise of yesterday and tomorrow, and to give everything to today's work. Champions know that their greatness is built not in dreams of the future or regrets of the past, but in the focus they bring to this very moment. By mastering focus, they transform ordinary training into extraordinary growth, and ordinary effort into championship results. Discipline is the backbone of every champion's journey. It is what gets you up in the morning when the bed feels more inviting than the gym. It is what pushes you to finish your last set even when your muscles are screaming. Discipline is not about how you feel in the moment. It's about the choice to stay true to your goals no matter what. Without discipline, even the strongest motivation fades away. But with discipline, even on the hardest days, you continue to move forward. Champions know that feelings are temporary, but discipline creates lasting change. Discipline is about building a structure in your life that supports your growth. It's creating routines that strengthen you, not weaken you. It's having a plan for your training and following it consistently. Champions don't just wander into the gym and hope for progress. They set schedules, they stick to programs, and they measure their performance. This structure removes guesswork and keeps progress steady. Discipline is the silent guide that keeps them on track when distractions try to pull them off course. Discipline is forged in the small, daily choices. It's in choosing water over soda, rest over late night scrolling, training over excuses. Each of these choices may feel small, but they build into habits that shape who you become. Champions don't wait for the big moments to prove discipline. They show it in the details of everyday life. That's why their consistency looks effortless, but in reality, it is the result of countless disciplined decisions stacked over time. Discipline demands sacrifice. It requires letting go of comfort and convenience. You may have to skip social gatherings, wake up earlier than everyone else, or spend evenings preparing meals instead of indulging in fast food. These sacrifices can feel heavy at first, but champions see them as investments. They trade short-term comfort for long-term reward. They understand that without sacrifice, discipline cannot exist, and without discipline, greatness is impossible. Discipline is also about mastering your emotions. There are days when you feel frustrated, angry, tired, or unmotivated. Without discipline, those emotions dictate your actions, but with discipline, you act according to your purpose, not your feelings. Champions train when they don't feel like it, because discipline has taught them that action comes before emotion. When they stay consistent, motivation eventually returns, but it is discipline that carried them through the storm. Discipline builds resilience. Every time you force yourself to do what is necessary instead of what is easy, you grow stronger inside. That resilience spills over into every area of life. If you can master discipline in the gym, you can master it in your work, your studies, and your responsibilities. Champions understand that discipline is not limited to fitness. It's a way of life. It's the key that unlocks consistency, and consistency unlocks results. Discipline eliminates the gap between intention and action. Many people have good intentions. They want to get fit, they want to improve, they want to transform, but they fail to act. Discipline bridges that gap. It takes the desire in your mind and turns it into action in your body. Champions don't just talk about their goals, they live them out daily through disciplined action. That's why their results stand as proof of their commitment. Discipline thrives on accountability. Champions hold themselves to a standard even when no one is watching. They don't need applause, validation, or approval from others to stay consistent. Their discipline comes from within, from a deep commitment to who they want to become. They are their own toughest critics, and because of that, they push themselves harder than anyone else could. Discipline gives them the power to stay honest with themselves. Discipline teaches patience in progress. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and results don't come instantly. Without discipline, people quit when they don't see quick changes, but champions keep going. They trust the process because discipline has taught them that small efforts repeated over time create massive transformation. They don't chase shortcuts. They stay steady, knowing that real progress takes time. Discipline is the great equalizer. Not everyone is born with natural talent, but everyone has the ability to practice discipline. It is available to anyone willing to commit, anyone willing to sacrifice, anyone willing to stay consistent. That is why discipline is the foundation of a champion mentality. It gives ordinary people the ability to achieve extraordinary results through consistent effort and unwavering commitment. Focus is what separates champions from the crowd. In a world full of distractions, the ability to keep your mind fixed on your goal is one of the greatest strengths you can develop. Focus means tuning out the noise around you, the opinions of others, the temptations of comfort, the lure of instant gratification, and locking your eyes on the vision of who you want to become. It is easy to get distracted by what everyone else is doing, but champions know that their energy must stay directed toward their own path if they want to see results. Focus gives your training purpose. When you step into the gym without focus, your session feels scattered and unproductive. But when you step in with clarity, every rep, every set, every movement has meaning. Champions don't waste time drifting through workouts. They enter with a plan and execute with intent. Focus transforms ordinary effort into powerful action because it aligns your body and your mind toward the same target. Focus is about learning to say no. No to procrastination, no to excuses. No to habits that pull you further from your goals. Each time you protect your focus, you are saying yes to progress. Champions don't let themselves get consumed by things that don't matter. They filter their energy, keeping only what serves their growth and cutting away what doesn't. Focus requires discipline, but it also requires wisdom. The wisdom to recognize what is worth your attention and what deserves to be ignored. Focus sharpens your ability to push past obstacles. When challenges appear, it's easy to lose sight of your direction and get overwhelmed. But champions remind themselves why they started. They use their focus as a compass, guiding them back to the bigger picture. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but the vision is permanent. With unwavering focus, they move past roadblocks instead of getting stuck behind them. Focus helps you stay present. Instead of worrying about how far you have to go, you lock in on the task right in front of you. When you focus on the weight in your hands, the form of your movement, the breath in your lungs, you maximize the value of each moment. Champions know that progress is built rep by rep, set by set, day by day, so they give their full attention to the now. Staying present in the process keeps them from feeling overwhelmed by the journey ahead. Focus removes comparison. In the gym, it's easy to look around and measure yourself against others, their strength, their size, their progress. But champions don't waste energy comparing. Their focus is inward, on becoming better than they were yesterday. They understand that every person has a different path, a different timeline, and a different struggle. By focusing only on their own improvement, they protect their mindset from doubt and keep their energy flowing in the right direction. Focus also creates consistency. When your mind is scattered, your actions are scattered. But when your focus is clear, your actions line up day after day. Champions are not easily swayed by mood swings or distractions because their focus keeps them anchored. It tells them what matters, and it reminds them where to place their energy, no matter what life throws at them. Focus trains patience. You begin to understand that progress is a slow process, and losing focus on long-term goals for short-term pleasures will only hold you back. Champions keep their eyes locked on the bigger picture, even if it means waiting, even if it means grinding day after day without immediate reward. Focus allows them to stay committed without rushing, trusting that persistence will eventually deliver results. Focus strengthens your mental energy. The mind, just like the body, becomes sharper the more you train it. By practicing focus, you teach yourself how to block out distractions, how to hold attention for longer, and how to stay calm under pressure. Champions know that a focused mind leads to a focused body, and together they create unstoppable momentum. Focus gives your journey direction. Without it, you might work hard, but you won't move in a straight line toward your goals. You will drift from one thing to another without ever truly reaching your destination. Champions understand that focus is like a laser. It concentrates energy into one powerful stream. With focus, every ounce of effort pushes them forward. Every decision moves them closer. And every day builds momentum toward becoming the person they set out to be. Discipline is the backbone of a champion mentality because it ensures that you do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes depending on your mood or circumstances. But discipline stays steady. Discipline is what gets you up when your body tells you to stay in bed. What pushes you to complete that last rep when your muscles are burning? And what keeps you consistent when distractions try to pull you away? It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about creating the moment through action. Discipline teaches you that success is built on structure, not randomness. When you create a routine and stick to it, you take control over your progress instead of leaving it to chance. Champions build habits that align with their goals, whether it's training at a set time, eating according to their plan, or resting properly. Every disciplined action adds up, and over time, the structure you've built becomes a powerful force guiding you toward your transformation. Discipline also strengthens your character. When you repeatedly make sacrifices, choosing water over soda, choosing the gym over the couch, choosing consistency over laziness, you prove to yourself that you can rise above temptations. Champions know that the battle is not only against the weights in the gym, but also against the weaker version of themselves that wants comfort. Discipline wins that battle day after day, shaping you into someone stronger inside and out. Discipline allows you to master the basics without rushing. Many people chase shortcuts and quick fixes, but champions stay disciplined in perfecting form, building strength gradually, and respecting the process. They know that skipping steps will only lead to failure or injury, so they discipline themselves to move at the right pace. This patience ensures that the foundation of their fitness is solid, and once the base is strong, progress can expand without limit. Discipline is what keeps you consistent during hard times. Life will always throw challenges at you, busy schedules, setbacks, stress. But if you've built discipline, you will still show up. Champions don't train only when life is smooth, they train even when it's messy. That ability to keep moving forward regardless of circumstances is what sets them apart. Discipline means that your actions are not dictated by your feelings, but by your commitment. Discipline also teaches you responsibility. You start to understand that nobody else can do the work for you. No one can lift the weights on your behalf. No one can eat the right meals for you. No one can build your strength in your place. Champions embrace this responsibility instead of avoiding it. They see discipline as a form of self-respect, knowing that every action they take is shaping the person they are becoming. Discipline builds momentum. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to keep going. At first, discipline feels heavy, but over time it becomes natural. What once felt like sacrifice begins to feel like a normal part of life. Champions experience this shift where discipline turns into habit, and habit turns into identity. It's no longer about forcing yourself, it's simply who you are. And that is the true power of discipline. Discipline also protects you from regret. Many people quit when things get hard and later look back wishing they had stayed committed. Champions avoid that regret because discipline keeps them moving forward. They don't have to wonder what could have happened if they tried harder, because their disciplined actions guarantee that they will see the outcome of their efforts. Discipline removes doubt because it proves through daily effort that you are giving everything you have. Discipline sharpens mental toughness. Each time you follow through on your commitment, even when it's hard, you toughen your mind. You learn to silence excuses, to quiet the voice of weakness, and to focus only on execution. Champions develop this toughness not overnight, but through countless small moments where discipline won the battle over laziness. That toughness carries over beyond the gym into every area of life, giving them strength in all challenges. Discipline is the silent force behind every visible result. The muscles, the strength, the endurance, all of it is simply the reflection of daily discipline. People may admire the outcome, but what they don't see are the countless disciplined choices made behind the scenes. Champions understand this truth. Discipline may not always be glamorous, but it is always effective. It is the invisible power that transforms effort into achievement, and without it, no lasting success is possible. Focus is one of the most powerful tools in building a champion mentality, because it allows you to direct your energy toward what truly matters. In the gym, distractions are everywhere: phones, conversations, or even comparing yourself to others. But champions train with laser focus, blocking out everything except the task in front of them. When you are focused, every rep has meaning, every set has intention, and every workout becomes a step toward your ultimate vision. Focus means you are not just present in the gym physically, but you are present mentally, fully locked into the process. Focus is what separates those who wander aimlessly from those who train with purpose. Many people go through the motions in their workouts, lifting weights without a plan, running without a target, or dieting without structure. Champions know that this scattered approach leads nowhere. By focusing on clear goals, whether it's gaining strength, building endurance, or shaping their body, they align their actions with precision. Focus ensures that effort is not wasted but channeled exactly where it needs to go. Focus also builds discipline in the moment. When you are fully concentrated on what you're doing, you are less likely to cut corners or quit early. Champions train with focus because they know that even a single sloppy rep weakens their progress. Every movement has value, and by directing their full attention to it, they maximize results. Focus keeps you honest, preventing you from cheating yourself out of the growth you are working so hard to earn. Focus helps you silence the noise of self-doubt. When you fix your attention on your goal, the negative voices that tell you you're too tired, too weak, or not progressing fast enough begin to fade. Champions don't allow their mind to drift toward excuses. They focus on the solution, on the next rep, on the progress waiting to be unlocked. By keeping their eyes fixed on the bigger picture, they rise above distractions and move closer to greatness. Focus transforms pain into purpose. When the workout gets tough and your muscles are burning, focus reminds you why you started. Instead of being overwhelmed by the discomfort, you learn to channel that pain into fuel. Champions use focus to see beyond the temporary struggle and visualize the reward that comes after. This mental shift keeps them pushing forward because their mind is locked onto the end goal rather than the immediate challenge. Focus also sharpens efficiency. Time in the gym is valuable, and champions don't waste it by drifting between exercises or hesitating with indecision. With focus, they follow their plan, execute with precision, and leave knowing they've done exactly what was required. This efficiency compounds over time, turning hours of focused training into results that stand out from the average effort of the unfocused. Focus saves energy by eliminating distractions and ensuring every ounce of effort is directed toward progress. Focus teaches patience in a world where people want instant results. Focus keeps your eyes on long-term growth. Champions don't obsess over daily changes in the mirror or on the scale. They focus on the process of showing up every day. They know that transformation is slow and steady, and by staying focused on the journey rather than rushing for results, they guarantee lasting success. Focus is what keeps them grounded, reminding them that greatness is built step by step. Focus creates clarity in decision-making. Outside the gym, every choice you make either moves you closer to your goals or further away. When you maintain focus, it becomes easier to make the right decisions. Choosing nutritious meals over junk food, choosing rest over staying up late, choosing consistency over laziness. Champions live with this clarity because their focus on the bigger goal makes the smaller decisions obvious. Focus makes your path straight and your direction unshakable. Focus is also contagious. When you train with focus, others notice your determination, your intensity, your commitment. It inspires people around you to raise their own standards. Champions understand that focus is not just personal. It has the power to influence the environment. A focused mind creates a focused body, and together they create results that demand respect. Others may talk, get distracted, or lose themselves in comparison, but champions remain locked in, leading by example. Focus ultimately transforms training into mastery. Anyone can lift weights, but not everyone can lift with intent. Anyone can run, but not everyone can run with purpose. Focus is the difference between activity and achievement. Champions know that progress is not just about the physical movement. It's about the mental presence behind every movement. By locking in completely, they build strength faster, grow sharper, and achieve what others only dream about. Because focus gives them the ability to harness all their energy toward a single mission. Resilience is at the heart of a champion mentality, because it is the ability to rise every time life or training knocks you down. In the gym, resilience shows itself when the weight feels too heavy, when progress feels too slow, or when setbacks threaten to undo your hard work. Champions understand that failure is not the end but a test, a moment to measure how badly you want to grow. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about standing tall in the middle of it and pushing forward no matter how much resistance you face. Resilience grows when you embrace challenges instead of running from them. Many people quit when the workout becomes too intense or when results don't appear fast enough, but champions lean into those difficult moments. They see the extra set, the longer run, or the harder diet as an opportunity to develop toughness. Resilience is built not in comfort but in the fire of discomfort, where your body and mind are forced to adapt. Every time you refuse to quit, you are training resilience the same way you train a muscle. Resilience is also what keeps you consistent despite life's obstacles. There will always be days when your schedule is packed, when your energy is low, or when unexpected events throw you off track. A person without resilience lets these obstacles dictate their progress, but a resilient champion finds a way to show up regardless. They adapt, adjust, and make no excuses. They may not have a perfect day, but they still push forward, proving that resilience is stronger than circumstances. Resilience sharpens your mental strength by teaching you to turn setbacks into comebacks. Every injury, every missed goal, every failed attempt becomes fuel to rise stronger. Champions don't see setbacks as a reason to give up, but as a chance to learn, to grow, and to rebuild themselves better than before. Resilience turns failure into feedback, reminding you that progress is not lost. It is waiting for you to rise again with even greater determination. Resilience also prevents you from being controlled by emotions. Some days you feel unstoppable, other days you feel weak, tired, or unmotivated. Champions understand that emotions are temporary, but resilience keeps you moving forward regardless of how you feel. Instead of waiting for motivation, they rely on resilience to push them through low points. This emotional stability is what allows them to keep progressing long after others have quit. Resilience teaches you to endure pain with purpose. When your muscles burn, when your lungs ache, when your body begs you to stop, resilience whispers that you can endure a little longer. Champions use this endurance to push past limits that others accept. The ability to keep going when every part of you wants to quit is the essence of resilience, and it is in those moments of pain that true growth is unlocked. Resilience builds confidence because every time you overcome adversity, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. That confidence doesn't just stay in the gym, it spills into every area of life. The resilience you develop while training gives you the courage to face challenges outside of fitness, whether in work, relationships, or personal goals. Champions carry themselves differently because they know they can handle whatever comes their way. Resilience also destroys the fear of failure. People who fear failure often never begin, or they quit the moment they stumble. Champions embrace failure as part of the journey, knowing that each setback is temporary, and that resilience guarantees they will keep moving forward. With resilience, failure is not final, it is simply another step toward mastery. This fearless mindset gives champions an edge because they are not paralyzed by mistakes. They are empowered by them. Resilience strengthens the bond between your body and your willpower. It's easy to let physical exhaustion dictate your actions, but resilience allows your mind to take control. When your body says no, resilience allows your mind to say yes. Champions thrive in this space where mind overcomes body, where resilience becomes the deciding factor between stopping early and achieving greatness. That inner fight builds a strength that cannot be measured in weights or reps, but only in determination. Resilience ensures that you finish what you started. Many people begin a fitness journey, but only the resilient see it through to the end. They may stumble, they may fall, but they never stay down. Champions understand that resilience is not about being perfect, but about refusing to quit no matter how many times the road gets tough. This relentless spirit is what sets them apart, because resilience is the invisible armor that carries them through every obstacle and toward every victory. Discipline is the backbone of a champion mentality, because it is the force that keeps you aligned with your goals when distractions and temptations try to pull you away. In the gym, discipline means showing up on time, sticking to your program, and giving your full effort even when nobody is watching. It is the quiet commitment to do the work whether you feel like it or not, because discipline is not about mood, it is about mastery. Champions know that without discipline, talent fades, motivation weakens, and results vanish. Discipline is what keeps your training structured instead of random. Many people wander into the gym with no plan, lifting whatever they feel like, and then wonder why they see no progress. Champions, however, approach each workout with a clear structure, because discipline has taught them to respect the process. Every set, every rep, every movement is intentional. designed to bring them closer to their goal. Discipline transforms chaos into progress because it gives direction to your energy. Discipline also governs how you treat your body outside the gym. Training is only one piece of the puzzle. What you eat, how you rest, and how you recover are equally important. Discipline ensures that you choose nourishing foods instead of harmful ones, that you rest instead of overworking, and that you keep your body ready for growth. A champion understands that discipline in daily choices shapes the results of every workout, and neglect in these areas can undo hours of hard work. Discipline is the answer to inconsistency. While motivation comes and goes like the weather, discipline is the constant force that makes sure you show up regardless of how you feel. On the days when you are tired, discipline gets you moving. On the days when life feels heavy, discipline pulls you back into routine. Champions rely less on fleeting inspiration and more on solid discipline, because they know it is the only way to ensure long-term progress. Discipline also strengthens your ability to sacrifice in the short term for greater rewards in the long term. Skipping a night out to rest, saying no to unhealthy food, or investing time in training instead of wasting it on distractions, these sacrifices may feel difficult in the moment. But discipline helps you see the bigger picture. Champions don't focus on temporary pleasures. They focus on the lasting fulfillment that comes from growth, strength, and achievement. Discipline builds respect for yourself because every time you follow through on your promises, you prove that your word holds weight. This respect is powerful because it builds confidence and trust in your own abilities. When you tell yourself you will train and then you do, discipline confirms that you can rely on yourself. Over time, this self-respect becomes unshakable, and it is the quiet confidence that separates a champion from someone who quits easily. Discipline also teaches you balance, because it prevents you from overdoing or underdoing your efforts. Without discipline, some people push themselves to burnout while others barely push at all. Champions use discipline to regulate their intensity, ensuring they work hard enough to grow but not recklessly enough to harm themselves. Discipline creates sustainability, and sustainability is what allows a person to remain strong for years, not just weeks or months. Discipline is the silent builder of consistency. When you develop the habit of showing up daily, eating right daily, and training with focus daily, you no longer rely on bursts of willpower. Discipline automates the process, making good choices your default. Champions don't ask themselves whether they feel like training. They train because discipline has made it their identity. This consistency becomes unstoppable because it is not fueled by emotion but by habit. Discipline separates those who want results from those who earn them. Everyone desires strength, health, and confidence, but only the disciplined are willing to endure the boring, repetitive, and sometimes uncomfortable steps required to get there. Champions understand that glory comes from doing the unglamorous work with discipline, whether it is sticking to form, logging progress, or maintaining a strict routine. Discipline makes sure you don't just dream, you deliver. Discipline is ultimately the bridge between intention and action. Many people have the intention to get stronger, leaner, or healthier, but without discipline, their goals remain wishes. Champions use discipline to turn intention into reality, step by step, rep by rep, day by day. It is the invisible force that guarantees that progress happens even when motivation fails. And it is the defining trait that transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary outcomes. Mental resilience is the shield that protects you from giving in when life tests your strength. In the gym, it means pushing through fatigue, ignoring the voice that says you've done enough, and finding the grit to finish the set even when your muscles burn. Mental resilience is not about ignoring pain. It's about accepting it as part of the process and refusing to be defeated by it. Champions know that the body will always follow the mind, and when the mind refuses to quit, the body finds a way to keep moving forward. Mental resilience is built when you face challenges instead of avoiding them. Every time you step into the gym on a day when you don't feel like training, you strengthen your mind. Every time you lift more than you thought you could, you show yourself that limitations are not real. They are only mental barriers waiting to be broken. This resilience doesn't stay in the gym. It spreads into every corner of your life, making you stronger in business, in family, and in personal growth. Mental resilience is also about patience. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, resilience teaches you to wait for the results you're working for. You may not see change in the first few weeks, but resilience keeps you steady, reminding you that transformation takes months and years, not days. It trains your mind to embrace the journey rather than chase quick rewards. And that mindset is what separates those who quit from those who keep climbing. Resilience is forged in setbacks. Missing a lift, failing a workout, or facing an injury are not reasons to stop. They are opportunities to build mental toughness. Each setback is a test of whether you will crumble under pressure or rise stronger from it. Champions use setbacks as fuel, letting every disappointment sharpen their focus and strengthen their resolve. They don't view obstacles as walls, they see them as stepping stones to greater strength. Mental resilience also keeps you grounded when distractions surround you. Friends may try to pull you away from your goals, circumstances may tempt you to take the easy route, and the world may tell you that success is too hard. Resilience makes you immune to that noise. It gives you the focus to stay locked on your mission and the clarity to keep moving forward when others lose their way. Without mental resilience, even the strongest body will break under pressure. Mental resilience is the key to controlling your emotions. In training, there will be frustration, anger, and even moments of doubt. Resilience teaches you to channel those emotions into your effort rather than letting them control you. Instead of quitting in frustration, you lift harder. Instead of sulking in defeat, you study your mistakes and come back better. Champions don't let emotions dictate their path. They let resilience keep them steady. Resilience is also about adaptability. Plans don't always go the way you expect. Maybe your workout gets disrupted. Maybe your progress stalls, or maybe life throws unexpected challenges at you. Mental resilience allows you to adjust without giving up. You learn to find another way, another method, another path to keep moving toward your goals. Champions adapt, but they never abandon their vision because resilience keeps them committed no matter what changes. Mental resilience builds trust within yourself. When you go through hard times and still keep going, you prove to yourself that you can endure more than you thought. Each victory, no matter how small, becomes evidence that you are stronger than your doubts. This trust builds confidence, and confidence becomes the foundation of every new challenge you take on. Champions aren't fearless, they just trust their resilience more than they fear the obstacles ahead. Resilience also protects you from burnout. Instead of expecting perfection or instant results, mental resilience keeps you steady, knowing that progress comes with time. It allows you to rest when needed without guilt and push when it's time to give more. It creates balance because resilience understands that strength is not built in one workout, but in the ability to keep showing up over years. Champions know that resilience is what allows them to stay in the game longer than anyone else. Mental resilience is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. Anyone can train when it feels easy, but only the resilient keep going when it feels impossible. This quality makes the difference between those who almost succeed and those who do succeed. It is the silent strength behind every rep, every set, and every victory. Resilience makes sure that no matter how tough the road becomes, you will always have the mental armor to continue walking it. Consistency is the thread that weaves all progress together, especially in the gym and in fitness. It is not the single workout that changes you, but the decision to return again and again, no matter how you feel. Consistency doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for persistence. When you show up regularly, even on days when you are tired or unmotivated, you build a rhythm that makes progress inevitable. Champions understand that success is not built in bursts of effort, but in steady dedication that accumulates over time into transformation. Consistency is not glamorous. It's not about the highlight moments when you set a new personal record or hit a milestone. It's about the quiet, daily commitment to do the work when no one is watching. The world sees the final results: muscle growth, strength, and endurance. But the unseen foundation is the consistency behind the scenes. It is waking up early, preparing your meals, sticking to your plan, and training even when you don't feel like it. Consistency turns discipline into habit. At first, it feels like a struggle, as if every decision requires effort and willpower. But the more consistent you are, the more natural the process becomes. Soon, what once felt like a battle becomes second nature. The gym is no longer something you have to force yourself to attend. It becomes part of who you are. This transformation of discipline into habit is the gift of consistency. Consistency also teaches patience. Results in fitness are rarely immediate, and many people give up too soon because they don't see quick changes. But consistency whispers the truth. Progress is happening even when it's invisible. Every workout, every rep, every meal is a deposit into the account of your future body and strength. Over weeks, months, and years, these deposits grow into a fortune of health, power, and confidence. Consistency is also protection against setbacks. Life will always bring obstacles, busy schedules, stress, injuries, or unexpected responsibilities. Without consistency, these challenges derail you completely. But with consistency, you learn to adjust and keep moving forward. You might not train as intensely during a busy season, but you still train. You might not hit every target when life gets tough, but you stay in the fight. Consistency ensures that even when progress slows, it never stops. Consistency is the reason small efforts compound into massive results. Skipping one workout may not seem like much, but when small breaks stack up, they create failure. Likewise, showing up for one workout may not feel like much, but when repeated week after week, the results are undeniable. Champions know that greatness is not achieved through giant leaps, but through small steps taken consistently over time. Consistency strengthens your identity. When you commit to showing up no matter what, you start to see yourself differently. You are no longer someone who tries. To get fit, you become someone who lives a fit lifestyle. This shift in identity changes everything, because when consistency defines you, quitting is no longer an option. Your habits align with your goals, and your life begins to reflect the vision you've built for yourself. Consistency also creates momentum. The more days you show up, the more powerful the cycle becomes. Missing a workout feels uncomfortable because consistency has rewired your standard. This momentum pushes you forward, making it easier to maintain progress and harder to fall back. Champions thrive on this momentum because they know it is the fuel that carries them through long seasons of training and growth. Consistency demands humility. It reminds you that the journey is not about instant victories or quick rewards, but about showing up with patience and persistence. It strips away excuses and forces you to confront your commitment. Champions accept this humility because they know it's not about being perfect, it's about being present, dedicated, and unwilling to quit. Consistency is the greatest ally of transformation. Muscles grow, strength increases, endurance rises, and confidence builds. All because consistency was chosen over excuses. It is not intensity alone that creates champions, but the decision to return to the gym day after day, week after week, year after year. Without consistency, effort is wasted. With consistency, every ounce of effort compounds into greatness. A champion is not created in a single workout or in a single day. It is built in the hidden hours when you show up even when no one is watching. The weights may be heavy, the journey may be long, but every rep is carving out a stronger version of you. The mentality you carry will decide your destiny. And if you choose the mindset of a champion, no obstacle can stop you. Stand tall, stay consistent, embrace the struggle, and live every day as proof that you are not chasing greatness. You are becoming it.